All right, before we dive in, let's talk about something wild. You know how sometimes you stumble across a channel and you think, dang it, dude, this is going to blow up? Well, that's Hidden Proof. This isn't just another history channel. Hidden Proof digs into all the stuff that they don't teach you, the secrets, the cover-ups, the stories that history tried to erase from you. And the crazy part is that they're just getting started.
Yeah, we're talking about deep dive investigations that pull you all the way in, like their COINTELPRO series. It exposes how the government worked behind the scenes to silence people like MLK, Malcolm X, and the Black Panthers. Or their Erase series, where they break down insane injustices that got buried in history.
Here's the deal, man. The channel's growing really fast. So if you jump in right now, you're kind of getting in on the ground floor. You kind of get to watch them build something big. And I mean, let's be real. I mean, who doesn't like to be the friend that kind of found the good music before everybody else did?
Exactly. So go hit up Hidden Proof on YouTube. Check out all their series and subscribe while you're there. Trust us, you're going to want to say you were there before it blew up.
Links in the description. Now let's get into it.
Episode 36. What are we doing podcast? We're here.
Episode.
We're back on camera.
Smat.
What?
Episode Macus Smat?
You look like you're crying. Did
I
you
am
just
crying.
yawn?
I did just yawn.
Yeah. That's the worst. When you, bro, that happens to me all the time. And,
You
like,
just look so submissive.
yeah. Or just like in general when like I'm in public and I yawn, or like in a service, sometimes it happens in church. I yawn and it looks like I'm crying, but like, why does yawning make you cry or tear up? Science is weird, man.
Yep.
What were we saying though? Mike is smart
Macus Smat.
because he's Boston.
Boston.
He is Boston.
Let me see your car keys.
Khakis?
Car keys?
Car keys.
Car keys? Car keys?
So they don't say the R.
Yeah, no R, really. Not a...
What is Brooklyn
bar.
accent?
You want to go down to the bar? I don't know. You ever watch Family Guy?
Yeah.
They're from that area.
Really?
Yeah, Rhode Island.
Huh?
Quahog.
Sometimes I forget Rhode Island's even a state.
A lot of people do. I heard it's
Bro,
pretty
I found this out today. Did not know this. Random fact. And I might be the only one that didn't know this. I don't know.
Teach me.
But during World War II, Hawaii wasn't a state. Isn't that kind of crazy? I don't know why. It wasn't
Isn't
a
the
state.
whole reason we got into World War II because
It wasn't a state. It was a U.S. territory. It was not a state. It's like Puerto Rico.
So,
Puerto Rico is a U.S. territory, I think. I saw in our bathrooms at work, one of our bathrooms in work, there's a bunch of just like trivia facts or something. And it was like based off a decade.
so you're sitting there taking a dump.
And I'm taking a leak. And it's
Yeah,
right there in front
right.
of the urinal. I don't take
Yeah,
dumps
right.
at work,
You're
bro.
pooping. You're
I don't
pooping
take
at work.
I don't take dumps
and
at
you're
work. I've only
reading-
taken one dump at work, and I didn't like it.
Whose job is it to update the facts in front of the urinal?
Not mine. They're kind of old. I think it's like based off of like each decade. So they're like the newest they got is 2010s, which is that right? That's not right anymore. We're in like 2020s, right?
Hold on. What do you mean by? What do you mean?
Write her
by
down.
right?
Add her to the list.
What do you mean by right?
Like
You asked it like a question.
I don't know what I'm trying to say.
We are in the 2020s.
No, I was saying like
We're no longer in the 2010s,
yeah,
which is
we're in
Yeah.
the 2020s. Ladybug.
really far.
But isn't that wild? Like that Hawaii wasn't a state when World War II happened.
Yeah, and it's like the reason
We got
that
into
World
the-
War II happened.
For us,
But that's the reason we got into it.
yeah.
Yeah, which is the only important part.
Isn't it funny? We weren't even a part of either World War. Like we didn't start it. We were not the starting party. We just joined it and we finished the job.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like that's kind of most.
Wars for America,
Yeah.
except for the ones that are we start within our own nation.
Yeah. Well, I guess the Iraq War was
Yeah.
from.
But that's like specifically us in Iraq, I guess, and other smaller parties. But
Yeah.
I don't know. It was a random fact. Also, another random fact. This is my Cooper Flag thing I told you to remember.
Yeah.
And we could talk about this for a second, probably. But you know how he is in the New Balance commercial with like Kawhi and
Yeah.
Cameron Brink and I don't know, Shohei's on there.
Yep.
He is in that, sponsored by New Balance. He wears Nike shoes. He's wearing Kobe's in the tournament
Really?
right now. I just saw this on
I
Instagram
wonder if
today.
that's a Duke thing.
I don't know. But you would think that New Balance wouldn't let that happen.
Yeah, but
And then Nike.
wasn't it? I mean, even we had to wear Nike shoes, didn't we? I'm pretty sure we
had to wear black
Nike.
shoes, I thought.
I'm pretty sure we had to wear Nike shoes. I'm
Maybe.
pretty
I mean,
sure.
I wore Nike shoes, but
No,
I thought they were just black.
I think that was a rule. I think it was this specific colorway of a Nike shoe.
Maybe.
I'm pretty sure. Because that seems like something that Kramer would have done.
Yeah.
Was everyone has to wear the same brand. He's a big brand guy.
I mean, I just remembered it had to be black, and I had Nikes anyway, so I'd wear black.
Like, I remember
Like, I didn't want any.
I'd show up to, like,
else.
PE whenever he was, like, teaching PE still.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd have on, like, Nike sweatpants and then, like, NMDs, the Adidas shoes, you know?
Uh-huh.
And he'd be like, why are you crossing your...
Mix and
You're
match.
mixing, yeah. Why are you mix matching brands?
Sometimes I think about that when I wear outfits, but at the same time, it's like I don't really have a full Nike, a full Adidas, full other things that would work. But no, so I saw that on Instagram, and it was because of a tweet, something like New Balance retweeted or tweeted something that Cooper Flag did in last night's game,
Yeah.
and Nike retweeted or replied to the tweet or something and said because of the swoosh, and it's because he had Kobe's on.
That's so tough.
Yeah, it was fire.
That's
That they clapped
so
back
tough, bro.
And I never realized that. I knew he was in those commercials because I see those commercials a lot, especially during March Madness. They rerun the same commercials the entire time.
That's tough.
But then I didn't realize that he wore Nikes. But I could see it being because of a Duke thing. Like, that would make sense.
I bet that's what it is. I wonder if the entire team is wearing a certain style of shoe.
Probably.
Dude, I love when brands do that. Like, for a while,
Like clap back at each other? Yeah.
Like, for a while, Burger King was doing this thing where they were like, why would you eat with a clown when you could dine with a king? Kind of tough.
Isn't it crazy to think about that? Like, one person has the power of Nike,
Yeah.
backing them. Like, one person tweeted that.
Yeah, somebody has Nike's.
And could you
Twitter
imagine,
account.
like, the CEO of Nike seeing that tweet? He's like, "All right, bro,
All right,
get him a raise."
all right,
Like,
damn,
that's
all
tough.
right, okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
that'd be sick to have that
That's-
job.
that's
Or if you
facts.
mess up, you're like,
Right, because I have put stuff from that was supposed to go on to our Instagram or whatever, and I've posted it on my personal stuff.
yeah.
I know there's some stories of people that have gotten fired for that.
For accidentally posting
Yeah.
something that was going to go on their story onto the public one, like
No,
Nike.
so there was I guess one of the guys who had access, I forget what brand it was. It was a big brand though.
Uh-huh.
Like a powerhouse
Yeah.
brand. But one of the guys that had access to the social media, like whatever, was liking a bunch of pictures of like girls on Instagram from that account. So then it was like, I don't remember what brand it was, but it would just be like random, like crazy pictures of these girls, and then it would be like liked by Puma, which is so tough. Like,
Yeah.
that's not tough in a good way, like tough in a bad way. Like, you're fired.
I've done that with our Instagram. I like don't realize that I'm on our Instagram, and so on ours, on the podcast one, and I'm scrolling through people's stories, and then I realize it's
yeah.
like, wait, I don't follow this person,
Mhm.
and I'm like, oh, I'm not on the right one.
Yeah.
It is trippy though. Like,
Sometimes
it doesn't make it
sometimes doesn't-
very very
clear.
obvious sometimes.
Well, and then it'll switch without me knowing too.
Really?
Mm.
I always like
My Facebook
it's always
does,
on.
for sure. It does.
I don't have Facebook, so
I
I
know.
wouldn't know. But my is whenever I get on Instagram, it's always the same one that I was on previously.
I don't think so. I don't. I mean, maybe.
I don't know.
Weird. That was weird.
But I just thought that was funny that
What was I gonna say?
people clap back like that.
Oh, dude, one of my favorite. I think it was a Coke commercial. But it's this kid at a vending machine
Buying Pepsis
and
to
he buys
get
the
to
Pepsis
the Coke.
so he can stand on it so he can reach the Coke.
Yeah,
That's
tough.
so tough.
Tough.
Did you see there's a bar, or not a bar, but a school, like, whatever, somewhere, a college, and on the campus they had a vending machine for A&W, and the way that you paid was either by money or you could put a Barks root beer in, and it would give you an A&W.
I wouldn't know it was Barks.
I don't know.
Interesting.
Camera or
Barks
something?
is fire though. Like that's my favorite one.
Yeah, Barks is good. I don't really like root beer floats.
Me
And
neither.
A&W gives root beer floats. Like that's how it tastes, is a root beer float.
Yeah, I'm not a big root beer float guy. Like, I'd rather just have a soda
I like
and have
Mug,
ice
I
cream,
think.
like separate. Mug?
I do like Barks. I think I like Mug, Barks, and then A&W.
Are those the only three? Like, those are the main ones? I feel like there's one
I feel
more.
like those
but
are the
name 'em.
important ones.
Yeah. There was also another thing I saw on Instagram today having to do with Duke. And it was a huge, it might become a big lawsuit, but the president or someone high up at Duke's University sent out like a message about how the White Lotus, you know that show? I've never seen it, but White Lotus is a show. You've probably heard of it.
I've heard of it. I haven't seen it.
But it's not a very appropriate show, I think. But a guy in the show and a weird scene from what I've heard or whatever, he's wearing a Duke hoodie and has Duke on it.
Okay.
And the guy was like tweeted or posted something. He's like, Duke never gave them permission to like have that on there. Like, it's not a paid ad. It's not whatever. And like, he was like, we don't support blah, blah, blah.
Right. It's basically defamation.
Yeah. And so
Yeah.
he's like that low key could become a big suit, like
Yeah.
against the producers and stuff, because that's like a big deal of like, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they had to like take it down or something. I don't know what you do about that, but because it's already been aired or posted or something, but I just thought that was crazy. I saw two big Duke things in like a matter of minutes.
Mike's Jenna. That's how she's in my phone. Mike's Jenna.
Tough.
Why?
I don't know.
Charlie's Jenna is Jenna Charlie's Jenna.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
But what was I saying? Oh, we were watching a movie.
Uh-huh.
We're watching Uncle Drew Fire.
That's
seen
with Kyrie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she was telling us that if the full like name of the brand is in the movie. So like, for example, there was a bunch of things that said like Advil in the movie.
The movie?
And so it'd be like a banner and it would say Advil, the whole thing. You could see the whole thing.
Yeah.
So Advil paid for that. But the scene before, he's holding a Bud Light, and the way he's holding it, you can only see light, or you can only see whatever. So if you can see the full name of something, it was paid for. If not, it was not.
Isn't that, I get that and that makes sense, but it's also like you can tell he's holding a Bud Light can. You know what I'm saying? Or like you can
Right,
tell
but
someone's
that's
wearing
not the
Nike
point.
shoes even if it doesn't say Nike on it.
That's
you know?
not. Yeah, but that's not the point.
But they're still getting
Right.
Bud Light is still getting
But they can't
publicized
get
for it.
sued for it because they don't have the full name in there.
You're saying Uncle Drew, the movie can't
The
get
movie,
sued for it.
right?
Yeah, I'm just saying that it's still publicizing Bud Light for Bud Light,
Not if you can't see the Bud Light.
but you can still tell if it's Bud Light, like, or if they mark something off. Sometimes
Well,
you can still
even
tell. Just
there
'cause
was
of,
I forget what the other brand was. I think it was like a tire company or something. But like the way that it had it was like the first part of the word, and
like
then there was
good
like
and not the year or something.
Well, yeah, so it would be like good, but then there were people standing in front of the banner. So then it was covering up the year. So
Interesting.
that means they didn't pay for it, but they needed like a filler for that spot to make it look more real.
It's crazy how much planning goes into like movies like that.
Oh my gosh, it's
like
insane.
you have to stand here so you cover this sign. Like I would not think about that.
Yeah, it's
Like there's someone's job is to figure that stuff out.
yeah,
Crazy.
crazy,
Yeah.
so crazy.
You think you would like to be the guy that runs Nike's socials?
Yes, I would love that.
I wonder what a day looks like for him.
I would get fired.
Pretty quick.
I'd get fired so fast. I would say, like, I would do what they did with the Cooper flag thing, but it would be like somebody getting dunked on, and they'd be wearing Adidas, and I'd be like, you know,
Yeah.
it would be like,
Like too far. Kind of. Yeah.
like maybe your fat ass could jump higher if you
Yeah.
were wearing Nike.
Yeah.
something crazy that like, I was having a conversation today with a customer. We were talking about how it's crazy that you have to weigh your bags to get onto a plane.
Mm-hmm.
Like your check stuff all
Yeah.
has to get
Even your carry-on has to be a certain size too.
yeah. So everything has to get weighed out, right?
Uh-huh.
But then also the person next to me could be 550.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Isn't that kind of dumb? Like, really, my bag was 6 pounds too heavy,
Yeah.
but Bubba Dump over here is,
Bubba Dump is crazy.
I don't know.
No, I get what you're saying.
This guy weighs 800 pounds. Look at him. He's probably not flying if he weighs 800 pounds. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, which I guess is probably how it's all accounted. They're like, but
Yeah, I mean, you gotta think at that point that person's taking up 2 seats.
at
so
what point
they
is
have
that
to-
person getting weighed? You know? At what point are we going to have to weigh ourselves to get on the plane? You got to weigh yourselves to get on, like, rides. You're telling me...
like water slides?
Yeah, you're telling me you're in a water slide, you got to get weighed? Like, remember when we were in...
Wisconsin
when we were in the Dells?
Yeah.
They had to have us... Or they, weighed us
Yeah.
as a group. You're telling me
yeah.
that you're telling me that that's going down a water slide. It's more crucial to know what your weight is than going on a flight.
I feel
Can I
like
have more than just silence from you?
I
Brock?
feel like
Can you talk on this podcast?
I can.
Okay, we'll switch the thing to you.
Good
Now you
night.
tell me your input on this.
I agree with you fully.
More. Tell me more. Tell me more.
What do you want to know?
I don't know anything.
I mean, I agree with you. I think the water slide thing is kind of bogus. I get what you're doing for like weight distribution, but
Yeah, but at what point are we weighing people to get on a plane?
I don't know. I mean, I'm not a pilot. I'm not an engineer. I don't know how any of that works.
There's an episode of Family Guy where Peter really wants to ride this ride, and they're like, you have to be this weight to be on the ride.
Uh-huh.
And they weigh him, and he's like not even close. So he puts on one of those, the things that like the corset, like what the
Yeah,
women used
yeah,
to wear.
yeah,
They,
yeah.
like,
To make it.
make them like super
Skinny?
everything super tight.
Yeah.
And he like puts it on and gets it all tightened up, and then he like opens his mouth and his like heart comes out and it's like beating out of his mouth and stuff. So he's like just, but then he walks up. He hasn't lost any weight. He's just looks
Yeah.
skinnier.
So they let him go.
Yeah, so they let him go, and it like goes up to the top and then shoots down, and everyone dies. But like,
I think, I think it's so crazy how that show, or shows like that, can just like
they just don't care.
just how unfiltered they are.
Yeah,
And it's just like, dude, how's that not getting hated on by some?
Oh, it is. Oh, it
Really?
for sure.
They just
it
don't
is.
care.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Like at all. Like, there's just no. Also, at this point, like you got to know what they're about.
Yeah, that's
you know,
true.
it's
That's
like
true.
It's not a new.
It's many
it's not a
seasons
new
deep,
thing.
like,
we're
yeah.
we're seasons deep of this.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, that makes sense. I think it's crazy. I don't know what restaurant it is, and I don't know if it's a chain or it's just a specific spot, but I've seen videos of it. They have a scale outside, and based off of your weight, depends how much you have to pay to get in to eat or how
Yeah.
much your food is.
There's
I think that, I don't know if it's the lighter you are, the cheaper your food is, or the heavier you are, the more your food is. Because I
Makes
feel like
sense.
it's the heavier, which kind of doesn't make sense to me because I feel like you would want the skinnier person to eat. The heavier you are, I'm pretty sure the cheaper your food is. But maybe it's because
no way.
I'm pretty sure that's how the thing was. The
No,
video
it's
I was
probably
watching.
like, hey, fatty, I don't want you to eat here. Your food's gonna be expensive.
I don't think so. I wish Brock had a phone that he could look that up, but I just remember seeing videos of that because they would try to get there was one video I remember that there was two girls trying to cheat the system of both being on there at the same time. Like she was kind of putting weight on
Yeah.
it while the other girl was on there,
Yeah.
so that the other girl could eat cheaper.
There's I saw this thing that there was a buffet, and it had essentially this fake wall made out of 2x4s, and then there
Mhm.
were slots. So there was just board,
based on
board,
how
board, board. So
yeah.
however big you were is how much you had to pay. So if you could fit through the tiniest one, you ate for free. But then if you
Isn't
were,
that crazy? That's just
you don't have to eat there.
yeah, it's still just
That's
crazy.
kind of that's the whole thing with that's that's why when people get offended by let's go back to Family Guy. If you're getting offended by Family Guy, don't watch it.
Yeah.
What you want to be the victim so bad that you're forcing yourself to watch this thing that you don't have to watch just so
Yeah,
you can feel
that's true.
victimized, just so you can tell someone you feel victimized that doesn't care that you feel victimized. I'm good on all that, bro.
Yeah, I can see it.
Bars.
I can't really
I just
track
rhyme
with that.
victimized with victimized.
Yeah, I can't really track with that. Dude, I had something again that I want to talk about. I
I
forgot.
know, I did too, and I don't remember it either.
I'm kind of pissed that I found out last night driving home from work that one of my headlights is out, and I
You need to
literally
get a new car.
I do. I literally drove a month or so ago. My other headlight went out, the other one, so I just replaced it. But it kind of makes sense because I think when I replaced them, the last time I replaced both of them,
Yeah,
so it makes sense that they're kind of going out at the same time. But sucks.
yeah.
Little things like that aren't cheap. I mean, it's not crazy expensive either, but it's I think 2 headlights is $40 or something.
Yeah.
That's not. It's not fun to spend money like that for.
Yeah.
I mean, $40 ain't crazy, but to have to spend on a headlight that kind of
Yeah.
sucks. I'd rather
No, it does suck.
eat
Spending-
Chick-fil-A twice a week.
I know. Spending money on anything, spending money on your vehicle and it not looking or being cooler in any way is annoying.
Yeah, like an oil change that sucks.
Yeah, it is.
Oil
It
changes
does
are
suck.
expensive too.
Yeah, because you have a Jetta.
Yeah, a diesel.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah, unfortunate.
Yeah, you should.
I need a new car. Bad.
You should get one.
I'm gonna saving for it right
What's
now.
stopping you?
Saving for it.
What are you saving for?
A down payment,
Why do you need a down payment?
so my monthly payments are cheaper.
Yeah. But what if you okay? So let's say you're putting $5,000 down.
Yeah.
What if you just kept the $5,000?
See, I do think about that sometimes.
Because on a
that could be $5,000 worth of monthly payments.
so if you're taking a loan out and you're at 72 months, okay,
yeah,
which is pretty typical for a new
Yeah.
car, is 72 months.
it's 8 years.
Every
No.
No.
No. That's 6 years. Holy cow! I knew that. 6 years. 6 years. We're good, bro.
72 months. Every $1,000 is $20.
Every $1,000 is $20 for $20 of what?
A month
On my car.
on your payment.
Yeah, you're saying every $1,000 is how much?
Every $1,000 is
So if I-
$20 a month.
So if I bought a $30,000 car, that's what you're saying?
No, I'm saying your payment. If your payment was
You saying my
if your
down
payment was
payment?
$120 a month and you put $1,000 down, it would be $100 a month.
So you're saying if I was to save up, put $5,000 down on a car, it's only taking $100 off of my monthly payment?
Yeah.
Still quite a bit though,
It is quite a bit.
but it is different.
But what if
looking
you
at
took
that
the
way.
500 and you like invested it, or 5,000 and invested it in something?
Or I
You
would just
probably
use it.
wouldn't.
Yeah,
You'd
I would just use
for
it.
something else.
Well, I would just use it as my first $5,000 worth of car payments. You
Yeah.
know?
to buffer. I don't know. I'm not telling you not to put money down.
No, that's just why I haven't
I'm
bought a
just trying
car
to
yet.
get you to buy a car currently because I really need to sell one.
I do want a car bad, bro. Them Vistas, bro. That's what I want.
Yeah, the Invistas are sick. The Invistas are so dope. You should buy one.
Yeah. I'd lease a car, but I don't get. I need stupid amount of mileage a year to be able to lease one. That makes sense.
There's someone that I know that we just had a conversation today. He works at Lighthouse, who has a 10,000 mile a year lease,
That's not enough.
and he has 15,000 miles on it currently. And I don't know if he's owned it a year yet. He's like, but he said, I don't know. I don't know what the math is, but he said the math is that it's only going to be a couple $100.
At the end,
Yeah.
that's how they do it. It's just calculated at the very end when you turn your lease back
So,
in.
I think typically it's 50 cents a mile.
So 5,000.
I'm gonna let you do it.
I
I'm not
don't
even
know.
gonna
I
try.
messed up $1 billion last week.
Yeah. We also said 72 months was 8 years.
Yeah,
So-
math ain't mathing today.
And then asked if we were in the 2020s.
Yeah.
That is true. You've been on a run today.
I had one of my
already.
roommates in college text me and said something about I need to start some type of, I don't remember what it was. Some type of
campaign.
of campaign that said,
yeah. I talked about it on the podcast last week.
really?
Yeah, I said I would love to fund, or not fund, but like be the president of the Caleb's Not Actually Dumb campaign. Like I would love to be the head organizer to prove that you're not like you are actually probably the smartest person in the room.
Depending on the category, yeah, probably.
I'd say probably just overall.
Yeah.
For sure, book smart has to be. You have to be.
I'm the only one in here with a college degree.
Yeah.
Not pushing you guys down. Y'all
You
also
don't
worked
have
for
to.
way more
Just
years
listen
than I
to the
have.
35 episodes before this. There's no pushing down that you can do. I ain't worried about it at all.
Fair point.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's crazy. My friends, I got a big scholarship in college, and my friends in college were just like, "How did you get that scholarship?" They literally would say that all the time.
That's
They
crazy.
give me a hard time about it, and I'm just like, "Well, I just applied, and they just gave it to me." But like, my level of effort that I put into school in high school versus college were two completely different levels. Like,
What do you mean?
like I put in way more work into my schooling in high school than I did in college.
Put more work in high school?
Yeah,
Why?
because college was so much easier. And it's like,
You paid for one of those.
I know, which sucks. But like college, some of my
I did
classes,
not have the same
attendance isn't
experience.
mandatory, right? I'm not going to go. And that's what makes me not look very smart is because I didn't go to classes. But like some of these classes, I didn't need to go to class to get an A in the class. You know, like why? That's my stomach, bro. I'm
I
so
heard it.
hungry.
I heard it. You're hungry?
Yeah, bro. I'm about to eat some more pizza in a
There's
second.
so much pizza over there
I
still.
don't think there's that much left.
Decent.
But like there's some classes that I don't need to go to class to get an A. And it's like, why am I going to class then? Like, why go to my 8 a.m. if I can sleep in and not go to my 8 a.m. and still get the same grade in that class? Like I had a good GPA in college. Like definitely could have been better, but I had it like I had the high enough GPA. I was able to keep all my scholarships all 4 years. You know, like
What was your GPA in high school?
3.9.
What was yours?
3.7.
What was yours?
I think mine was. It was definitely not less than 3.7.
Really?
Yeah.
I just remember I remember for graduation, it used to always be top 10, and the class got recognized. And then our year, they switched it to be like the magna cum laude thing, like how college does it.
Valedictorian?
No, he's
No.
right.
No, like the way you group people based off their GPA. Like, there's three
Magna
categories.
cum laude,
That's the highest, cum laude,
and then there's one more.
yeah, something else. But they group you based off of that, so it's a wider spread of people.
Because as a 3.7, that's really pretty good.
Yeah,
And I was 20th in our class.
yeah, because we had some smart people.
We had like 5
We had 4 valedictorians or
valedictorians
something
and
like
26 freaking salutatorians.
Yeah,
I
dude,
mean-
we had a stacked class, like all around athletics, like grades, academics. Like we had a loaded class.
You know what's really frustrating though, is it was our entire, like, not just our class at Delavan, but like the schools all around us in our grade were insane.
Yeah, exactly.
Like if our
If we
grade
were
could go
a
back and
year-
play sports, we wouldn't have lost a single game. I don't think. Like,
I really think that if you took our 2019 class for baseball and threw it into baseball right now, we'd win state. I don't know. I actually
I think-
haven't seen them play right now, but
We
I just
almost
feel
did
like we were
anyway.
solid. Yeah,
sucks.
I still think about that game sometimes.
I know it hurts so bad.
So
Oh,
frustrating.
it hurts so bad.
I just remember, making an error in the outfield early in the game, like first inning or two. Making an error in the outfield, I just misread the ball, and then the guy gets on first, and then luckily Chuck saved my life and picked the guy off after like 3 or 4 times. You remember that? The guy at first
Yeah.
base, and that was hype because he saved my butt.
Yeah.
And then I remember getting into the locker room, and coach was just like, dude, get your head out of your butt right now. Like, he was just like,
Gahuya.
he, like, never gets like that. And he just, like, kind of got on me, and I was like, okay. Like, doesn't bother me to get on me like that. Like,
Yeah.
that was a mistake. I shouldn't have done that. But it just surprised me that, like, he just, I don't know. Then I got yelled at for not running fully on that, like, single. After the exact same thing happened, and I like destroyed my ankle the game before, so I like literally it gave me
PTSD.
no, well yeah, or deja vu kind of. Like I was like, dude, this literally just happened.
Yeah.
And I was safe, but then he was ripping me a new one at first base.
You remember when we were playing at home against IC, and I
At home.
piped one,
Yeah.
like one
Senior
of
year?
yeah.
No, it would have been junior year because senior year. No, senior year is when we played at IC and you hit a home run.
Oh, that's true. You don't think we could have played them twice?
No, we never played.
It might have been. It might have been junior. I mean, I have had 2 home run swings. This felt like more of a home run swing than the other one at IC. Not my one in the one I had in the regional championship game was a nuke. That ball got pissed on.
Sometimes I forget you hit a home run in that game.
Dude, I about tore the skin off that ball. I hit that.
It probably
thing-
just barely looped over the.
Nah, we could call Charlie right now, and he can confirm because he hit one that barely blooped over.
I didn't even see his because I just got hurt.
You know how I
literally
had the
at
pine
battery.
trees back there?
At ours?
No, the pine trees at the place that we played.
There was pine trees at that course at that
Yes.
field.
Yes,
I was in Rova or something, right? Or Williamsfield or something like that. It was a hall.
yeah,
Was where that regional was at.
yeah. It was really far away.
Yeah, sucked.
Um,
All of our games were so far away. Everywhere we traveled.
baseball just kind of sucked though.
Abington
for
was
that.
one of our regionals. We had to go to North Fulton for one of our regionals. Abington for sectional. Lewiston for a regional. Rova for a regional. Where was one of our other years? Were we at North Fulton twice? Where did we go our freshman year? It was with Dylan and not Dylan, Sam and them. Oh,
Leroy.
Leroy.
That's also a haul.
Yeah.
All of our regionals were so far away.
But so this our junior year then when we were playing IC at home, I hit that ball so hard. And I'm thinking this thing's hitting the school. Like that's how hard I hit the ball.
You jogging?
I'm not even jogging. I'm trotting to first base. And then I hear that thing hit the yellow, the fence topper.
Yeah.
I hear it hit the yellow and fall. Like I watch it fall in, and I'm like, oh no, because it should have been a real easy stand up triple.
Yeah.
And
Barely got to second.
It turned into a dive that was I probably should have been out at third.
Oh, you got a triple?
I got a triple.
Oh.
Carr was pissed.
I bet.
We had some practices in all of our sports.
Just tough ones. I remember the one
we had some practices where the coaches would be like, if you guys don't care, leave.
That was baseball.
And basketball.
When basketball?
It happened in basketball. 100%.
When?
I remember a couple times he ended practice early and was like, just go home.
No.
And we were like, nah, we'll stay. And then we just stayed and ran.
I don't know if I should say it. Never mind.
Can you?
I mean, it's not that I can't, but I don't know if people want me to say it. It's not bad.
Can you say it? Is it like
Screw it.
what if you just don't
Take
say
it
the
out.
names?
No, there is no names.
Okay.
I just remember, I think it was senior or junior year, we were just fed up with just getting beat on and just having to deal with stuff and run. And there was one, before practice all day at school, we are talking about dude, if he makes us do something, we're just gonna turn in our jerseys. Remember that? We were all
remember that.
super close to doing it, and I think we were just all talking. We were all talk.
What was it though?
I don't remember what it was, but I remember there was one practice where we're hey, if I throw in my jersey, you can throw in your jersey too. And we're
I do remember that.
All of us were we were gonna do it.
All 5 or 6 of us were all
we were all gonna do it. I don't remember what it was about.
It had to have been junior year.
Probably.
We just got our we got our ass handed to us. We didn't have a safe space at practice. The games, we got the shit kicked out of us. We'd go to practice. It would be the same thing because we sucked. The only way to get us to not suck was just to kill us.
Yeah,
I think he had us to the point where he was like, I'm just going to make practice suck enough that they quit.
I don't know.
I do remember that we were all
yeah, I just remember that we were talking about it one day, and we were just talking. None of us were gonna do it.
There's no shot.
We were not.
Could you imagine? You're like, I'm done, and we're all just like, we're just like, what's his problem?
One of us does it, and you're just waiting for everyone else to do it, and everyone else just
you're like, right, guys,
this guy. that would be
hey,
what
Caleb,
would happen.
Looks like you're worried about the name on the back instead of the name on the front. That used to be the most disrespectful.
Yeah, that and when we would do half court shots and yell out a specific name for Teague.
Be like, hey, this one's for Megan. This one's for Sherry. we would throw out people's dogs. This one's for Peanut.
Whose dog was Peanut?
I don't know. He'd be chucking it 3/4 court. Wouldn't even make it to the free throw line.
Chalky Milks after shoot around were the best.
Yeah, Chalky Milks were so tough.
Oh man. What a time.
It's always clutch when you lost to someone and then you beat someone else and you'd be like,
yeah.
just like Caleb.
Right, yeah. Hey, Caleb, you actually owe Brock a chocolate milk.
Oh,
that's
dude.
so funny.
It was always the best feeling too when you'd come to school the one day and the person just has a big old chocolate milk for you.
Yeah.
You're just like, let's go. You're just drinking it. What is
Or
that?
you owed somebody else and forgot. So then you bring me mine because I beat you, and then I just have to turn around. I'm like, oh yeah, here, Brock.
Oh man,
Dude.
we never had any early morning practices.
What?
Like 6 a.m. practices, did we?
Not anything that early.
Like 8 a.m.s we had on Saturdays.
Yeah, we had a ton of those.
Yeah, especially early in the season.
Remember how scared we used to be of Kramer? And how scared I still am currently? When people that we played basketball with refer to him as something that's not coach, I'm like, whoa! Who are you talking to?
Because I still call him Coach to this day. Anyone that's ever
I do
coached
too.
me, I just call Coach.
Yeah.
Like to this day. Like
It's
I saw.
like a sign of respect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I think I'd rather be called Coach than like my last name. Like
Yeah.
if I was a teacher, like
Mr. Wagner.
Mr. Wagner
Yeah.
or Coach.
And
Coach is like,
you're like, Mr. Wagner's my father.
oh man. I remember there was one game we were losing to Greenview at halftime, and he told us that if we won the game, we weren't gonna have practice the next 2 days.
That was our junior year.
That was the year we were so
That was our junior year. That was one of 6 times that we got to listen to our win song.
Was it Gucci Gang too?
It was Gucci Gang and Harley by Lil Yachty.
That's why we sucked that year. Our win songs were
we were
terrible.
so bad.
We almost lost to a school that
I mean, I think
has
it's
a
safe
deaf
to
school
say.
compete with them.
I think it's safe to say that that's the worst team I've ever played on in my life.
And the crazy thing is, like, we weren't even like
No,
the guy. It's not saying like the guys on our team were bad. We just
No.
sucked.
because the core was
the core was not any different really. Like
Yeah.
the same team, except for 2 players
right.
played the next year.
Well,
like,
and Toll didn't even play most
yeah,
of the season 'cause
exactly.
he was
So it was
hurt.
like I don't know why we were
Yeah.
so bad that year, but we were terrible. I remember, and I loved how fast you get from basketball shape to baseball shape. Like literally, the first practice, you're back into baseball shape.
yeah.
At baseball, I
Yeah.
loved baseball.
Yeah,
Can of
just-
corn.
Yeah, can of corn. You're just hucking meatballs out to center.
We would just mess around every day in practice. It was just literally a pop
We
fly.
had-
Can of beans.
Can of beans. We did. We were doing. I think it's called PFP. Is that right? The pitch field something.
What?
You got
Was it an infield thing? I didn't.
It was
I
an
wasn't
infield thing, but it was like basically you like go through your pitching motion. You don't actually throw a ball, and then
Oh, they
Dylan
would-
would hit us a ball.
And you'd have to feel
So you'd
it.
like go and field off of off your throw.
Yeah.
And I was up first, and so I go through it, and Dylan hits a rocket, like one bounce, and then straight into my chest. And I had thrown and kind of like looked down like I normally would, you know. And that thing came as I'm throwing, so I look down, look up. The ball had already bounced and was like. He's like, my bad.
I hated when Dylan would have the entire team line up on the pitcher's mound and throw picks to me, but rapid fire. So it would just
Yeah.
be one after the next.
So tight, and nobody.
Guys that don't even pitch. were over
Yeah.
there doing
you
it
guys
too.
weren't even throwing it like a pick. You were trying to hit my shins.
Right, yeah. Throwing it bad at you on purpose.
Yeah.
I remember the one game. It was against Hayworth. It was a JV game. I got to play first base because you were throwing, Brock.
Yeah.
I loved it. It was so fun. It was just so different. I like got out there. I was like, dude, this is all right. Let's go.
Yeah.
Anytime the ball was hit to the infield, I was like, oh shoot, I actually got to do something right here.
Yeah. There was I got a couple stories. But I guess Charlie went back a couple years after we graduated, and Coach Carter was there.
Still is, I think.
Yeah. And I guess Charlie and him were talking, and he said something about me. And he was like, yeah, Brady, he wasn't like the most gifted like talent wise as far as like just whatever gifted as far as the game goes, but he just understood the game so well. And Charlie's like,
I feel like it was the opposite.
what? He didn't know anything. Because, dude, Charlie probably taught me 2 things about baseball every practice. I'd be standing out there and something would happen and I go, you can do that? And
You
he's
know
like,
what I
yeah.
still don't understand to this day, and it's partly because I was never involved in it, but when runners at first and third in a steal situation were on defense,
Yeah.
and the catcher yells out 62 or 64 or something like that, I never understood how that worked.
What do you mean? So it would
Like
be
who he was throwing to or not throwing to, I never understood that.
Yeah. Well, it would be basically it was an option and then or whatever the thing is. So like 6 might be you're throwing it to
Shortstop.
the shortstop and then 2 might be where I'm throwing it back. I don't remember exactly what it was. But it would be like one of them might be he's actually throwing to get the guy out at second, so I need to be at the bag to tag it. Or one might be he's throwing it to me and then I'm throwing it back, so run kind of towards the pitcher to catch it and chuck it back. Make sense?
Yeah. I just don't. I know, like, all the options, I guess, like, what would happen. And most of them were just a hard throw back to the pitcher. But I never understood what the numbers meant. Like, I mean, I understand the positionings and everything, but I never tried to figure it out because I was in the outfield, so it didn't matter to me.
Yeah.
But I just remember practicing those, like, when you guys would, and I was a runner, probably. Like, it just made 0 sense to me.
That's a cool contrast from basketball to baseball. Like, could you imagine if we were just learning a play in basketball and you're like, this doesn't really matter to me. I don't really need to know at all.
Yeah.
Like, it's cool that they know what's going on, but I just got to catch this thing when it comes out here.
I feel like our inbound plays always just turn out to be just go to the corner.
Just somebody, whoever's open, throw the
Yeah.
ball to them.
Yeah.
Everyone just run around.
I feel like
until
we
you're open.
would try to do inbound plays, and we never really did them in game.
Yeah.
I also feel like there was never much opportunities for them. I feel like, I don't know, maybe not, but I don't know. Man, dude, high school throwback.
I miss high school.
Sometimes I forget that we had the old building.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
I don't,
cool.
Sometimes I don't even remember what that looked like.
We got 2 years in both.
Yeah, that was a cool experience. I honestly liked the old building. I liked
Yeah,
just
the vibes.
the feel of it.
The vibes
yeah.
were cool.
And just like everything was like, I don't know. Everything was up at the top for the most part. But like,
There was a lot of vibes in that old building.
oh yeah. Where were our lockers?
They were all down in the U.
Yeah, I think that was part of what made it more of a vibe. Because it was more interaction that way, I felt like, versus how it is now. It's like freshmen, sophomores, juniors, seniors. And there's just like not much interaction there. Because at least for me, like all my classes were upstairs already. So I just was right there.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't do much hall passing versus in the U, like you have to go to the middle to go upstairs, you know, which is where a lot of
I just
classes
can't
were.
believe that we would play like a full 32 like game of 32 after PE and be drenched in sweat as a freshman or sophomore and then make our 7-minute trek up to
That was a haul.
Miss Wonder's class and then just sit in that class
I showered.
sweaty.
Me and Chuck showered every
I
time.
did shower. I did start showering. That's true.
I showered
but-
after every PE, most PEs when we had
Actually,
sweaty
we
days
didn't
like
we
that.
get we got passes eventually.
Yeah, they just write us passes.
Yeah, because
I remember
Kramer just
I had
wrote us a
PE.
pass.
Third hour, I think, was me, Brock, and Charlie. Because I remember that because we did driver's ed together. Because we would switch out who did it with who.
Yeah,
And me, fourth hour was with Miss Wonders, and me and Chuck would literally shower every day after PE, get a pass, and be like 10 to 15 minutes late to Miss Wonders class every day.
yeah.
Which is like, out of all the classes I could have skipped, I loved Miss Wonders classes.
I took driver's ed earlier than you guys did.
Yeah. Like,
Okay, I got in a year earlier.
you did it your freshman year. Like, you did it right off the rip, right?
I did it the second semester of my freshman year.
Oh, so we did
No,
it.
I did it.
First semester of your freshman year, right? 2015. Yeah. You definitely did it first
Sec-
semester because I was. Yeah, because freshman year is when we had Miss what's her face who did health, and she was only there for that 1 year.
Yeah. There was someone in my class that asked her some crazy stuff.
Yeah, I remember what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nuts.
Wild times, man. Wild times. I remember when the school building was being constructed, like you couldn't go out the front door,
Mm-hmm.
and so the side door was like all blocked off, and you had to go out by Allen's, like right there. Just weird, crazy times. And now, like, it's been so long, I can't even picture like
Oh, I can't.
in reference. No, I could picture the building, but in reference to where the building used to be versus where the school is now, and like what the parking lot used to be like, and all that stuff. Like,
Really?
I don't know if that makes
You
sense.
can't?
No, like, because it's different. The school was built in front of
Uh-huh.
the old school, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So is the back parking lot where the old school was technically then?
It was
Yeah.
a lot closer to the track.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's draft something.
Not gonna lie to you. If you don't know golf, this one might not be all the way for you.
Yep.
Caleb won.
What is this? Yeah. So I won last week's draft, which was what was last week's draft?
March Madness.
All things March Madness. So I'm out of the goose costume, which you didn't get to see last week, but I wore it multiple weeks in a row. Brady, still out of the goose costume, has not won it,
Your boy's gooseless. You heard.
which means Rack is back
Aw.
in the goose costume.
What a cutie goosey.
So you guys, if you don't know how it works now, I go first, then Brady, and Brock will go last. We're drafting 5 things. Category this week is, how would you say it?
So, we're drafting a golf bag. We're all using one golf bag. No re-picks
Of clubs.
of clubs.
Yeah.
And we each get 5.
5 clubs
Yep.
to create your bag. Who makes the best golf bag? I go first. I'm just gonna go driver off the rip.
Yes. 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 Yes.
It's huge.
That's so big. It's so big.
Why? Because it opens up for you. Or
I'm
because
taking
you wanted.
putter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I ain't gonna lie to you. I be putting pretty well with my sandwich sometimes.
You're gonna play around putting with your sand wedge? That sucks. I don't know any sand wedge shops you can go to, and not shops, places you can go to have some fun.
Honestly, I could putt. I think I could putt almost just as well with my driver as I could with my putter.
I had a backup pick for
If putter
That-
was taken,
yep.
maybe you'll get it.
This
Brock.
is a good spot for Brock to have 2 picks in a row.
Mm.
Yeah.
Give me a 3-wood.
Yep.
And for my next one, I think I'm going to have to go with give me a sand wedge. I
Okay.
use sand wedge arguably the most in my bag.
So you said 3-wood and sandwich.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think I've ever touched my 3-wood. I'll be straight up with you. Don't touch that thing. Granted, I don't really touch my driver either.
I have figured out that I can hit my 3-wood like
Pretty far.
270.
Yeah.
Okay. 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 Give me a 5-wood. I need something that I can get some.
Tee off with.
I need something I can get some mileage out of. And
Okay.
that's the next furthest thing to hit.
All right. I'm going to go I'm gonna go.
Not gonna lie, I think my being in my spot is the hardest in this
Yeah,
draft
'cause you don't get
'cause I
back to
only-
back.
I only get one.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna go with my. What do I have now? My driver. I'm gonna go 7-iron, and I'm gonna go hybrid.
Okay.
4 hybrid.
I'm gonna go with a
3.
pitching wedge.
Okay. What is a pitching wedge's degree?
Can I tell you how far I hit my pitching wedge on the simulator last night?
150.
Take a stab, Brock. How far I hit my pitching wedge on the simulator last night?
150.
About
would be
160.
crazy.
Nope.
More?
Yeah.
Then what was it?
2 bills.
You hit a pitching wedge 200. How far out were you?
I was trying to hit it 160 because it was a par 3. So I sailed it by
What is
40
like?
yards.
I wonder what a professional level pitching wedge is. Because
Bryson DeChambeau can't hit a freaking pitching wedge for 200 yards.
yeah, can or can't.
I don't know.
I don't think
can.
you could.
I can. And it wasn't a blade. It wasn't.
Yeah,
Like-
flush. Yeah.
It was literally. It just was a pure. So either the simulator was off,
I'm going to go
Probably.
with that.
Or you were just swollen.
or I'm.
Massive.
Let's go to a driving range, get actual feedback.
Facts.
Okay.
All right, pitching wedge.
For my next one, 7. Give me a 5-iron for my next one.
It's a good pick.
Solid middle of the pack, and then really like to have a 7-iron, but can't use that. That sucks.
You could go a 6 or an 8.
I know. I think I'm gonna go with my 3-iron because that's basically a putter.
Fair point. That's a
Okay.
good point.
That
Yep.
thing's basically
That's a good
flat,
point.
It's a good point.
That is a great point. Something to think about.
and I hit it just as far as I hit my sand
Yeah.
wedge because I top it every time. So
Yep. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go 6-iron.
Okay.
My thought process behind that's gonna be untold until later.
Okay.
I'll keep it to myself, I guess.
These are my last 2, right?
Yep.
I'm gonna go 54 degree. Give me something to work around the greens.
sand wedge.
No, 56
That's
is a
52.
sandwich.
Or
56.
56, yeah.
56 is a sandwich. 54. I would know because the 56 is
doesn't
what I
like
always
that.
use.
Yeah.
I mean, there's. You said we can get specific here.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with the 9-iron. I'm gonna putt with my driver, I think. Looking back at it, driver was a bad first.
I agree.
But I think the putter is the most important club in the bag because it's unlike anything else. Like a driver, like if you can hit your 3-wood, like you're could be fine. You know, just
My
few
favorite
yards short.
non-putter putter is a 3-wood.
really.
Golly, dude. I think I go. I'm stuck between a hybrid and an 8.
What hybrid?
Huh?
What hybrid?
I have a 6 though. That's like my next club up from my 6 is a hybrid.
Said what hybrid?
Oh, I thought you said why a hybrid. I'm gonna go.
Yeah, what you doing around the greens?
I have a pitching wedge.
Oh. Little bump around action.
I'm gonna go 8-iron. That closes the 6 to pitching wedge gap.
Driver, hybrid, 7, 9, sand. It's a pretty good bag for myself that I think about.
Brock has like 6 putters. He's only picked 4.
Man, I feel like I really don't. I've got a 3-wood, so I don't want to waste a pick with like a 3 high, but
Why? That's not the
What you
same.
got right now?
but
What's your-
I've got
can
good
you-
distance clubs already.
Can you read your bag right now?
I've got a 3-wood, sandwich, 5-iron, and 3-iron.
You already wasted. Well, I guess you're using that as a putter.
That's tough. That is tough because
All
I
the- all the
definitely,
irons have been
if I could pick
Give me a 60.
So you're going. You're gonna have
60 and a 56,
you have a 56,
No.
a 60, and a 3.
3.
I know the 3 is more like a driver, but if you're topping, you're at, like,
Well, he's hitting 3-wood off the tee.
I know, but
That's
he
what
doesn't
he's
have any
swinging.
middle clubs.
A set
5-iron.
5-iron. That's
What am I supposed to do? 7, 8, 9,
I guess
6 are all gone.
The hybrid doesn't really help either, though, because
No.
if you have a 5, you might as well just hit the you're hitting your 5
So
instead
I'm
of your
saying,
hybrid
just
anyway.
give me a 60. I'm just gonna send it.
That goes less than the 56 would. Right?
Yeah.
All the middle clubs are taken.
No, yeah, you're in a tough spot.
Yeah.
I'm going with
real
the 60.
tough spot. Yeah.
Yeah. Read them things back to us one time for the one time.
All right. So Caleb had driver 7-iron, 4 high, 54 degree, and 9-iron. Brady had putter, 5-wood, pitching wedge, 6-iron, 8-iron. And I had 3-wood, sand wedge, 5-iron, 3-iron, and a 60 degree.
I would like to go out and golf with our bags.
That would be fun.
I also would like to try the
I'd-
baseball thing as well.
I'd like to go and get a pass.
I also would like to do that. I would like to golf tomorrow. I'm probably going to.
Can't.
I love golf so much. All right. That's our draft. Vote on Wednesday. We'll have it out on Wednesday this week. Appreciate everyone's interactions with that. It's been good. But
Appreciate all your support on the March Madness thing. It's
Yeah,
been really
that
fun.
went
A
well.
lot of you have been super involved with that.
and the bracket, everyone that got into the bracket challenge, which one were you talking about?
That.
Oh, I thought you was talking about the fictional one.
No.
Both of them. Thanks for getting into the
That-
fictional
yeah.
one. Thanks for getting into the actual March Madness bracket challenge.
We are so excited to see who's going to be sitting here with us
Yeah.
pretty soon.
Yeah.
It'll
There's
be pretty
some-
soon.
Starting Sweet 16 right now, so starting to dwindle down like options of who
Yep.
could it be
We're-
actually.
Honestly, we're about over with the Sweet 16.
Yeah.
About
It'll
on
be
the
Elite
Elite
Eight.
Eight.
And then it's gonna start the
Then Final Four.
and then
And then
champion.
yep.
But yeah, it's been good. Appreciate the support. If you or anyone you know has a business that you would like supported on the pod, hit us up. We do some good ad reads.
Our prices might surprise you.
Yeah,
Our prices might surprise you.
100%.
So let us know. And we are here to read stuff about things. What else?
I don't know. You got anything else? I don't think so. All right, well, episode 36 in the books. We're back on camera, so hopefully you like that. If not, keep listening.
There were people. I heard some complaints that there was no YouTube
I did too. Some people
or YouTube
thought we didn't
warriors.
even put out an episode.
Yeah,
I was like,
True.
it's on there,
It's on
just not on YouTube.
just not in your normal location.
Yep. But yeah, leave us a comment, give us a like, subscribe, and we'll see you guys on episode 37. See you.
Peace.